Hey, so welcome back to my YouTube channel. With this excitement, I want to talk about the Super Meteor 650 by Royal Enfield. Finally, I had it for a week and I had a ball over it. Today's video is gonna be a little long one, so sit back, get your popcorn or coffee, tea, whatever you guys prefer. The reason I'm doing an in-depth review is because I'm purchasing this motorcycle. I've already booked it during RIDEWITHRAJ. If people are following my vlogs, they would know that. Now, let's get into the review today. Also, I will focus on how this bike performs in the traffic situation, especially living in Mumbai. And the reason I'm doing that is because this has already been proven. It's a highway killer cruiser. So I thought it's better that I show how it handles in traffic condition, how it handles in bad roads of Mumbai. So let's begin the vlog. The first most important thing, this heavy motorcycle which everyone's talking about, how to put it on main stand. So as you can see, I have left the bike and it's still not on the main stand. Side stand ek baar hata deta hu so that you'll get a better idea. So you can do that. Now the most important, both the points should be on the floor. That is the most important, to put such a heavy bike which people are talking so heavy. Push more, that's very important. So you push down and just lift it up. There you go. It's a bit heavier compared to other motorcycles, but I don't feel that. That's why the stand is designed that way. The bike, both feet down, 5 feet 8 inches tall, no issues at all, fully planted. Even when I wear sneakers, it's done. Second big point to observe is, you're gonna save your Nike shoes or your boot marks, especially near the toe area. The reason is now you have a heel shifter, which is very good. Initially, you'll be not used to it because a lot of people don't use that anymore. Back then, Royal Enfields did have a heel shifter and it's back. The sitting position. Now your legs are quite stretched initially. If you're not used to of cruisers, you will feel that. But due course of time, say around 3-4 days of riding, you'll get completely used to, and then you'll not even feel that it is a forward control motorcycle. However, you could have some extra foot peg here which will be aftermarket for resting your foot if you are stretching it too much. Now that is completely a customization option which a lot of people in America do it on their cruisers. They also have a pan kind of a footrest which allows your entire feet to be rested when you're not shifting gears. The foot pegs are very nicely done. The positioning is superb. When you're not shifting the gear, your legs are like this. When you're shifting, you're just moving a bit inwards and you're sorting that out. So it is very well planned. Notice the swing arm gap between the exhaust and swing arm. It's nearly like 2 fingers of mine. And if you come on this side of the motorcycle, it's nearly 1 finger. However, when you go towards the rear and watch this motorcycle, it does not look that it's not in the same align. You get it? So that is one of the observation. Second most important thing which I will show you right now, the side stand here, is that when you sit on this motorcycle, you're planning to put your side stand on, what usually you will do is, even Abhideep did the same thing, is put his heel here. And that's where these marks are coming on, and that's a hot pipe that has no shield over it. So you have to be very careful that you only take the tip and put the side stand on, and that you'll get used to it once you start riding this motorcycle. The first motorcycle that I will not remove the sari guard off, and that is because it is quite tucked in. I think saddlebags will look so beautiful. You can see I'm just giving you a bit of a gist. That's the Trip Machine tank bag, magnetic. There is no extra foot peg which is actually given in the Meteor sari guard. Exhaust pipes are quite tucked in. That's really nice and looks neat. The whole design flow looks good. If you look at the chassis, the sari guard as well as the radiator guard, they all are coated with a special material. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is an anti-scratch material all over the chassis and the frame. And the swing arm looks really of good quality. The overall flow and design of this motorcycle is insane, including the seat curvature, especially for tailbone assist, which is very, very important. Whole design aspect of the tank merging with the seat, going all the way till down, is really beautiful. Even the intakes or the EFI areas which you can see here, which has a little bit of fiber body. Below that, this is all metal. This time the battery panels are metal, the fenders are metal, tank is metal. They have used a lot of aluminum based things, as you can see in the switches here, which is very premium. This bike looks really premium. Also the triple T, basically the whole T area, the stem T complementing the Showa shocks, they've made sure it is made with the best material, and you actually feel you're riding a premium bike once you ride this motorcycle. And it is smooth as hell. You can say Interceptor was a raw variant and this is a finished product. However, the styling of Interceptor is different, so you cannot compare it. This is a pure cruiser. Interceptor could do a bit more than this when it comes to bad roads because it has spoke wheels and stuff like that. Coming to alloy wheels, they really complement the motorcycle. Not that much. If you're an old school guy like me, you prefer spokes, but practically speaking, we don't want to stop on the highway with a puncher and just sitting next to the bike for hours till the RSA comes or the puncher guy comes. And it's very difficult to remove such tires because they have dual channel ABS. Most important thing, if you buy this motorcycle, please buy a sump guard. This was the same situation in Interceptor, so nothing new here. Your inner thigh actually comes in contact with that, okay? Now if you are a bit on the broader side, then you will have an issue, but if you're lean, this is not a deal breaker at all. I have tried to capture as much as possible. This is a YouTube video, you know how it goes. Built with Google. There's no other bike I can compare this with. I don't have a Vulcan 650 with me or any other motorcycle in this category, and especially at this price point. I think Mumbai is anywhere around 4.5 lakhs for this. Sorry about the bad lighting as I'm in a basement, but see, I'm jumping speed breakers normally. This bike also teaches you how to go easy on speed breakers. As you can see, that car really screeched because this slope is quite high, as good as a hill. So I thought I should demonstrate from here, including speed breakers. Turning at a nice slope here, easy breezy. Okay, so first thing I will immediately talk about this motorcycle's most important thing is the weight. Okay, when I saw a couple of videos and I was like worried that it's 241 kilos, how will it maneuver in city, or this is just a highway cruiser and I should only focus it for long rides. I was wrong. After riding this motorcycle for 5 days continuously, I was mesmerized that this bike can maneuver so easy. In fact, any amateur also who's never ridden such a motorcycle with 47 bhp of power, which is the same, nearly the same as Interceptor, the rear braking is so solid, boss. I'm gonna take this bike through a bad patch. As you can see, I can just turn this bike so easily. So the thumb rule for the weight in bad roads and speed breakers, go at car speed. What would you do in a car? You would go slow, you wouldn't go fast on it unless you have a freaking SUV or something, right? So low ground clearance cars like my Swift, I go easy around this speed, which is around 20-30, right? Now I'm going over the worst roads of Mumbai, as you can see very clearly, and it is a bumpy ride, but it's not a deal breaker bumpy ride. Like, it's not going thud. You know, I'm comparing again this with Interceptor. Same road, I have taken my Interceptor 650 and it's a very similar feeling. However, after the way to speed suspension upgrade, my Interceptor suspension kit is responding pretty well because there is been a little bit of rebound. Now on this bike, there is no rebound. However, it's not even going as a slack. You know, it's not hitting the bottom right at tuck and sitting down there. No. So there is stiffness, especially on the rear bit, but it's manageable. If your journey is always about these roads, this bike is definitely a no-no. This is a proper highway cruiser. With some roads like this, it'll manage because I know this road will end somewhere and I'll get better roads. Taking over a speed breaker here. There you go. Did you hear that squeaking noise? That was my rear brake right here. Now the thing is, the rear brake is so damn powerful that you have to be very careful, and please guys, don't put your foot on the brake. It's better you keep it like that, and that's why the footrest positioning is very practical. It's not just that it's kept at forward control, that you can just, you know, accidentally keep pressing the brake. No, automatically if you shift down, if you shift downwards, you can see my foot is outside. It's not even near the brake, and that is a very good position for forward control. Initially, for the first 2 days, I did look for a center foot peg to put my feet, and that is because you'll get used to once you ride this motorcycle. A lot of people who are not used to a forward control will find this bike a little difficult initially, but once you get a hang of it, you'll feel that it's not too much forward. It's perfect as per the sitting position. Look at the power coming out of this cruiser. I don't feel I am riding a heavy motorcycle. In fact, I am feeling that I'm just riding any regular bike, which looks so beefy and big. I have already got in touch with 2 of the exhaust companies who are aftermarket exhaust pioneers, and they have told me that guess what, we've already made the exhaust ready. This time something very different is coming on my Meteor 650, and I just can't wait for my delivery because I am enjoying this bike since 4 days, and now I'm like, hey man, what the heck, I need my bike. So if your roads are such cemented, tarmac or a little bit patchy here and there, this bike is completely doable like any other motorcycle. So it's not a deal breaker that it's not gonna do off-road. If you are looking for adventure kind of a motorcycle, then I would doubt, even if you're at a slow speed, literally 10 kilometers per hour speed, say example this slow, you'll still not put your foot down. That is because of the fat wheel behind. Yes, the thick tires are doing their job, the weight is doing their job in such a way that the bike is very well balanced as far as it is standing tall. If it's leaning, it's a different story, but what I'm trying to say is that even in city traffic, you can be on the same gear. Okay, like for example, I'm on my first right now because there's a little bit of speed breaker, so I'm at the same speed what this car is at, and then I can just charge. There you go. That's what this motorcycle is supposed to do. This is that kind of a motorcycle which will tell you that, hey, take the left side of the speed breaker, don't go over the speed breaker, hey, don't take that ditch. This is not going to talk like an adventure motorcycle where you're like, I don't care, I'm going to go over every obstacle. That's not the thing. This is a pure riding motorcycle, pure cruiser. Now quickly talking about the clutch lever, I don't know, some people are saying it's hard. My motorcycle, this particular unit which is provided to me, is damn soft. I did ride 4 hours continuous yesterday and I didn't have any left palm issue which I would have in other bikes. Interceptor also is very, very soft. So the clutch lever is completely depending on what setting you put on. I have changed the setting to 3. If you can see, I'm crossing rough roads, bit of here and there, broken roads or whatever you want to call it. But overtaking on this motorcycle is damn easy because you got bull power, you got parallel twin, 47 bhp, and I think 52 Newton meter torque, same specs of the Interceptor and Continental GT 650. So what has happened is cruising has become more powerful, which is really nice. And yes, it is not the most powerful cruiser, but for Indian roads and Indian highways, any bike which goes around 120, 130 without vibrations is a success engine. And I think that's the thumb rule for designing a 650cc and not a 750 maybe or 850 or 950. Plus average matters a lot. Now what I have heard that this motorcycle gives around 30, 35. Day before I still have 3 units left. It gave me an average of 22 kilometers per liter. So maybe my calculation was wrong, but I think this gives around that much. So anywhere from 20 to 25, this is what you should expect from the Super Meteor 650. My Interceptor also gives me around 20 to 25 because I have done aftermarket exhaust and a lot of other things which you have not seen. Please go check out the other videos which I have posted. Yes, everyone keeps talking about the smoothness. My 390 Adventure is around 42 bhp in a single cylinder. It does feel zippy and nice. Also, power to weight ratio matters a lot because my KTM is very light and nimble and flickable. However, on this motorcycle, you feel the power in more torquey way, and the reason is very simple, that it is a parallel twin. The more the cylinders, the more smoothness. I was in two minds that will it be a city bike or will it be a highway bike? But I think this is a versatile bike. Okay, I am doing something wrong is I am going over potholes with the speed, but you guys should not do that for this motorcycle. But I was testing the capabilities of the shocks. The front shocks are phenomenal. Showa has done a fantabulous job on this motorcycle. The broad handlebar, the broader triple T, alright, so everything has changed. I think we should not compare this bike with Meteor 350. On highways, I don't need to review this bike because this is a highway star, guys. You're gonna love it on highways. Now talking of long hour comfort, when we are talking about the seat design, as per my body weight and my height, this bike perfectly suits me. My riding style, everything, the engine, it complements me. And when you're 90% sold to buy a motorcycle, you're done. That 10% of here and there, it'll happen on every motorcycle, because we all know there's nothing called perfect motorcycle. Now, for example, you love this motorcycle so much, but then you're like, oh, I wish it could do good off-roading. But hey man, this is a cruiser, and I have a feeling there are plenty more motorcycles coming from Royal Enfield with this engine. Maybe or maybe not, I might be wrong, but you never know. There might be a Hunter variant, a Scrambler variant, and I'm sure you guys must be like, you should have waited if you wanted something like that. But hey, I just love this for my regular use. I think the leather saddles would look dope on it. Ape hangers would look really nice on it. So there is lot of mods I can do to this motorcycle, which is really fun. As you can see, overtaking and zipping over from this bike is crazy. That grunt. That's the power of the Super Meteor 650. Yes, if I get this bike, I think the first place where I always go would be Goa. And then I think I'll start my plans. But plenty of videos coming on my Super Meteor 650 once I get my delivery. So please do watch my delivery vlog also, which is going to come soon. I will share the dates of my delivery on Instagram. So if you want to join me, you're most welcome. You can be there. We can chill out and have some fun. Front braking, excellent, but the rear braking this time is crazy, and it's but obvious because you are sitting in such a position. You need the power to come from your right foot, more braking, because you are more backward sitting, and that's the reason there's a bigger disc brake. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it is a 320 mm disc brake, which is really huge. The tire size is also decent. The grip is, I am surprised with Seat doing such a wonderful job. And I'm sure this must be designed as per the Super Meteor 650. The tires are fabulous. The aftermarket parts, I think more or so will be very similar to Interceptor 650 parts. When I'm talking about parts, I'm not talking about this aluminium things which are right here, which is premium looking, not the triple T. I'm talking about parts such as clutch cables, such as accelerator cables, which I changed a lot on Interceptor because that quite junked, especially for water going in it. So I hope if that situation arises, the price is nearly similar, and that's why I always invest in a Royal Enfield, because I know the aftermarket is not heavy on my pocket. If you take the top spec, it's even reaching 5 lakhs. So this already comes in a premium motorcycle, works, rides, performs like a premium motorcycle. So I am very happy with it so far. I know this looks like a very positive video, but this is coming out of 5 days of continuous riding this bike, guys. So if any hindrance or anything troubles up, keep watching my Instagram space. And now, when we're talking about trouble, I want to talk about one thing very important. I'm going to take a turn. Now, if your foot is down like this, okay, nicely landed, and if you're slowly moving and you're using your foot also like this, which we do, but if your foot goes way behind and if your bike is turning, your heel will come under the exhaust. So your range of movement is only this much. Let me show you. This is the only range of movement you have, which is enough for this motorcycle. But if you're overconfident and if you try to push a lot, you can see the contact. That's it. It's the size of my boot literally. Now if I lean it towards the right, my heel can come literally below the bike, which is a bit dangerous, because look at this. Now I'm using my foot to turn, and if I do it a little more, see that? That's what happened. My heel got stuck. That was a demonstration for you. You guys shouldn't do that. So what I'm trying to say is the range of moving the motorcycle with your leg while sitting is limited. It's restricted. So do not overdo it. You might land up in trouble. That was one of my observations which happened with me and Amit. Amit also rode this bike and realized that. About the seat. Okay, the seat is nicely designed, a touring seat which everyone's talking about, but what I feel is even this seat is nice. However, if you get a tailbone pressure, which I did get after 1.5 hour of riding, a little bit of tailbone pressure which I got, actually you can say a little bit on the L6, I was getting a little bit of a pressure. What you need to do is change your sitting position and slide a little ahead. What is happening is the curvature of the seat is a little behind for a little big ass guys. Simple as that. Okay, so
If you are lean person like me, no problem. You can shift ahead and behind and you're sorted. But if you are on the healthier side, then you might have to consider the touring seat because that will really take care of your tailbone. That's what I feel. So guys, this bike will also make you fit. Simple. Period. Now you notice I'm going over these. Check this out. There you go. Smooth, right? But if it's a bad ditch, you have to slow down. If it's a speed breaker, and guys, one more thing I want to really share is every speed breaker here, there's a live demonstration. I'm going really straight up from the speed breaker. There you go. It didn't scrape. People who were talking about ground clearance, this is the same ground clearance, nearly the same in Avenger, nearly the same in the Thunderbird, the previous Thunderbird. I've seen some scooties having the similar ground clearance, and they are going over speed breakers. And scooties are so much used in the city. Like if you see the scooty's ground clearance, it's hardly there. Yep, braking is fantastic. Caption: Cops busted me during reviews. Super Meteor 650 viral. Perfect. Handling perfect. Okay, when you take the radius of U-turn, a lot of people are saying it's a little difficult. No, you have to be a little careful because broader handlebar, but it's not that you have to struggle. That's the difference. And I'm gonna pass a statement which is very strange for some people. I own an Interceptor 650 and I'm gonna own a Super Meteor 650 also. That's why I can pass this judgment. You'll be surprised. I find Interceptor more heavier than this bike because it's all about the riding triangle. You are actually sitting inside the bike here, literally between, and on that I'm sitting on the bike. I don't know if you guys can get it. I'm going to put it very simply. That's what I feel, and that's why this is much easier. And after my review, if you're still not convinced, go take a test ride and you will see that smile coming on your face immediately when you ride it. This is the largest speed breaker I'm taking. There you go. No issues. But I would really recommend a sump guard. Every bike, 650, Continental GT, Interceptor and the Super Meteor, they all need sump guard. Engine casing is covered, blackened, so my stress is gone because on Interceptor I had to every 15-day polish my engine. All that trouble is gone. This is a bike where I just key it in, key it out and just leave. Simple as that. I was stopped by 2-3 people like, which bike is this? And quite a showstopper, quite a looker. People follow it, honk me, give me a thumbs up. Maybe it's new or maybe it looks good, but I think it bloody looks good.
Most of the cruiser lovers would always have a Pillion, and as you can see, the seat is short. Definitely for a hefty person you definitely need a backrest. Okay, so a bit of a headlight test for you guys, and some hazard light system also. Please excuse my parcel here. Idea how the throw of this headlight is. That's the DRL right now on. Now that's the low beam. If you notice, it goes till here, and as soon as I do the high beam, now the high beam and low beam has a bit of a difference, but the focus changes. If you notice that area, it actually changes, and it's decent for visibility. It's not the best, I would say, but look at this. I mean, it's decent enough to give you enough idea about the road ahead if there are any ditches or anything like that. Now the motorcycle is shut, but the hazard light is on. I would convert this into LEDs if you want them brighter, but decent enough to alert the other person. The key switch is changed towards the left. This is how it opens up. That's the toolkit. It comes with a USB charger. Yes, so you can actually charge your mobile phone on the go. And if you notice, there's a small cut here, and this thing is actually the lock. So if you want, you can pass the wire from behind and take it out from there, or you can take it out from this area. If your wire is long enough, it can come till the tank bag, thigh pouch, or whatever you like to keep it as. But they've given it here, not here, obviously because there's a tripometer. Basically your navigation is here. Pretty nice. This time they have added this feature. This pana is very important. Fits perfectly fine here. So the toolkit is this time nicely designed. Anything missing out, comment down. I have made couple of videos about Super Meteor 650. Plenty of more coming once I get hands on my original bike. This bike will go back tomorrow, and I had it for a week. I had a blast with it. And you know what to do. Subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed. And as usual, friends, eat well, sleep well, be good. Signing off. Ride with Raj. Let's ride.